really excited to be here in front of you. As said, my name is Bob. I'm working for 15 years now within ING and currently responsible for digital sales in the Netherlands. I'm going to give you some insights how we create personalized experience in the 26 million contacts we have per week. And to understand my audience a little bit in this room, can you raise hands? How many of you are a customer at ING? In the red, I see 50-50. So, okay, there's a small sales opportunity for me here in the room as well. So, thank you. I will take you along the journey. First, let me introduce to you Rachel. And Rachel is one of our customers. And she's 44-year-old old. We call her a primary customer. And she has a husband, 2 kids, and she has all our products at ING. Basically, a customer we love. Recently, she upgraded her mortgage. And in that journey, she wanted to buy a vacation home in a foreign country, Spain in this case. So basically, we know all of her, and we have all the products. But now we take a look into the channels, what's happening there. So first, I asked her to open her email box. She looked in there, and she got an ING newsletter, which was not personalized at all for the journey she was in, and not what she was working on. And then we go further on. In the app, she has an inbox. And in that inbox, it's scattered with functional messages and nothing to tell her about the journey she's in. We can go even further. She went to ing.nl, and what does she see there? A non-personalized homepage. Although we know everything about her, this ing.nl is just telling her random stuff and all the stuff she could do at ING. And even in our app, we were not able to target in what she was doing. We sent her an offer, afford your redecoration of your house. And lastly, in Facebook, we target her, hey, maybe it's time for you to look at investing and what you can do next to savings. So basically, we have like 5 million customers in our database, but we have no exact clue at what they're working on. And that's the thing we need to crack. So to understand it a little bit further, a few data facts on ING, our customer base. Like I said, we have 5 million customers active in the app. The total retail base is 7 million customers. And I think ING is in a real luxury position to be there. If we look at it in a more thorough look, 90% of them is having digital access. 12% has access via someone else. And of course, we have a group in the population that has no access. And for that group, we will always have something different in place in the non-digital world via call or the branches or service points we will have. But the focus here is on the digital part. We can go a little bit deeper, and here you can see that 80% of our primary customers is also active in our mobile banking app. And this has grown over the past years, and I think we're now reaching the maturity level that on the customer base that we have them all in the app, and they're quite frequent users as well. And then it becomes to be important that you give them the right experience. And one more deeper, in Q1 2020, we had 345 million logins in that quarter. And then the big jump, and you can ask who created that big jump in the number of logins. That was not me, that was not ING, that was COVID. COVID here helped us really in getting the customer doing their banking in the app. And now from that state, we have them in there, they're familiar in how to use the app, and we see steady growth last quarter to quarter, 7% of more active logins. So that is an understanding in the customer base. So where do we stand in our personalization journey? And because I just showed you, we haven't connected our channels, we don't know what the customer is exactly doing, so we need to solve that. This year, we have set a clear KPI throughout the whole organization. And in the Netherlands, it's quite big. We have 12,000 employees still working there. But in all our tribes, we have said we have a big, hairy, audacious goal. That's what we call it. And 70% of our interactions in the mobile banking app, we want them to be personalized. And next year, we try to even go for 80. Also, I just learned that we have to watch out for fatigueness on sending messages in that app. And we need to do that by staying relevant. And so the KPI is now set, and that's there where we will be working on. Next to that, we have built our own capabilities to reach out to the customer in that app environment. So we have in place push notification, even real time, and we can send them, but currently we only allow the customer to set a notice in their app themselves that we can warn them. So we haven't connected this channel yet to full personalized interactions. Next to that, we have some we call it digital commerce real estate. We have that in place. If you log into the app, we have the ability to give you a pop-up. Very annoying, but sometimes very handy. We have a KYC obligation, and sometimes we need to know, is your phone number correct and your emails are correct. Very effective means, but we cannot use it for personalization at scale. But it's nice to have it at some point in your journey if you need to create something. Next to that, and maybe you have seen them when you're an ING customer, we have 3 types of messages in the app, how we currently communicate. We call it an actionable insight. It's on top of the app, and there we can overtake the screen also a little bit and give you a relevant message when needed. Here we're quite strict. We don't use that message for sales, because people don't like sales. Now, this is really for service and the next best thing you could do at ING, if you lost your debit card or something else like that. On the next level, it's on the product level, we have a so-called in-journey layer where we can send messages as well, more specific to that product and what could you do with it. And lastly, it's really an enticement. It's on the bottom of the app. You need to scroll down if you have many products, and that's really more on the advertising. You see a picture there and some stuff. But this is fully managed by ourselves and a home-built stack. So where are we now? We are able to personalize 50% of our interactions in the app today. But 80% is bank-driven. So we make the selection based on what we think that the customer needs. And I just showed you we're most of the time wrong. 20% is only client-driven. So that's where we really use the behavior of our customer to understand them. And that's the thing we are working now on to improve. And we already heard that you need a lot of content. Currently, we have 500 propositions live. But imagine a bank with all products and processes. I think we have over 6,000 processes, and we don't have content on that yet in the app. And these 500 now are managed by 30 customer journey experts and 8 data analysts. So we try to do that, but these 500, we see now we reach the level. So how can we scale further? Because creating more content, more selections, it's just not manageable for us. So we're really looking at how can we scale even further. But are we then doing that bad? No, we have some things that we're proud of as well. There's a but to that. We have real time, so we can do something instantly, but the next best thing we can do is 45 hours in batch. We have nothing in between. And that's rather strange, right? But a thing we're proud of, we call it call avoidance by routing. If you would call our call center today and you say, I lost my debit card, you will say that to the machine. We can doubt if it's personal or not, but it's really helpful on our side. If you do that, the machine automatically says, you lost your debit card, your next action is ready in your banking app. So when you log into the app, we automatically push the message on the top of the screen. You can click on it, block your debit card, and get a new one. And I think that's one of the journeys where we are going in the direction where we say, yeah, that's real-time personalization in what the customer needs at that moment. So we're getting there a little bit, but we're not there yet. So for the future, how we are working on it, we introduce a framework which consists of 3 pillars. The first is targeting. And targeting is about getting the right audience. And in order to select our audience, we need data. So this is really about having the right data in place to build your selections and queries to say, this needs to go to that customer. The next one is orchestration. And this is about prioritizing and selecting the most relevant message. And I think you all know with propensity to buy models, what channel position do I need to choose, that we try to solve in the orchestration part. And last, we already heard it in the story before, it's about content creation. How can we create that much content, because I think the 500 on our side needs to go times 10, and do that in a manageable way, and also keep it attractive. And here things are still going very manual. So, what tools do we use in our marketing tech stack? And I simplify this a little bit, but to give you an idea, we build audiences in our in SAS 360. We do that on a manual way. So we have data analysts who write the code. And in my department, we have 8, and for all products, they can put it in there. We have a connection to the so-called Kafka team, and there we can make some real-time events. I come back to the RTCDP block later. But imagine here, on a daily basis, we have 125 million messages available for those customers to log in. And that's running on a daily basis. So we need quite a machine to do that. In real time, we can do 750,000 messages a day with that system. On the orchestration layer, we use a so-called SAS inbound engine. There we put the orchestration and business rule layer part. And next to that, we have a home-built insights API. And why home-built? we are a bank, and we want our customers to feel safe. And some things we just are not willing to give in a cloud platform to others, so we keep that within ourselves. And this Insights API is really our part, which is fully connected in the app and where we safeguard everything. And that's a challenge within a bank that might be different for another company, but we decide that we needed to do this based on security reasons. And also, a little bit within ING, we think we can do everything better than the others. Lastly, for our content creation, we have a Bloomreach content management system in place. That's on a global level, so all countries of ING will work with Bloomreach, so we share global components. Now let me get back to Artist CDP, because we recently added that. And why we added that, it's not fully integrated yet, but our insight was, yeah, we can do everything ourselves, but there are parties working on it with way more investments than we are doing. So we decided on this part, we're going to consume a platform that gives us the real-time customer data platform, and not going to build it ourselves and focus on a bank where are we really good at. So on targeting, data availability is of the essence. We need to improve that. From surname of our customers, we're not using them in the app. Next to that, what is the customer really doing? And stitch the data together. It's also about getting consent. In orchestration, it's about the propositions and the variety of them. Currently, we have way too much on sales. We need to move to service and build that way rapidly. So we need to improve the flexibility and scale in our content, because today it takes us a really long time to build a proposition. So, in a nutshell, how will the future look like? We want to move to an app that is relational and that says good morning to you. And we are going to do that by connecting more data sources of what we are knowing and allowed to use. And we will ask consent to our users and show to them, if you give us consent, we will treat it and safeguard it for you, but give you a better experience in return. This is challenging for a bank. Why would you give your transaction data and allow ING to use it? But that's what we're trying to do, and show to the customer that we can do that. And there we need to find the balance between relevance and scale. Some messages will be broader, that you can all see, and some will really be only for you when it matters. Next to that, the second part, under orchestration. It will be driven by our commercial strategy. Of course, ING wants to grow and help the customers in cross-selling their products. But next to that, it should be relevant for the customer as well. So not only being on sales, but on service, say we have a dark mode, and create variety in that content. So here we need to find the balance between algorithms and business rules. And last, flexible and interactive banners. Currently in the app, we do everything native, as you can experience, gives a great user experience, but it's also a high IT investment. Here we really want to go to skilled creation and create engagement in.